as I was coming in, Minister Mackenzie says to me, President, you have now just stolen my thunder because I would have wanted you to stay away a little longer because I was keeping the fort, acting as a president here. So now you've spoiled all that. Now, I will not go into the long story of how, what he's revealing here about, I didn't know about these choices that he had in his head. But when I called him and said, Gayton Mackenzie, I've decided to appoint you as Minister of Sport, he said, thank you, thank you, thank you. Put the phone down, and he called me back immediately. He says, did I hear you properly, Mr.? Because he later expressed it when he said, you know, President, people are saying I'm very happy. They always say untruthful things about me, including insulting me and telling people lies. They say I'm happy to be a minister. And he says they are lying. I am not happy. I am very, very happy to be minister. So it's a real joy, Minister Mackenzie and DM Mabe, to be in a function that is so well organized by your department. This is a moment of great pride for our nation. It is a moment to express our gratitude, and we thank you for giving us that opportunity as Olympians, because you have represented our nation with such great distinction and commitment on the international stage. As you started walking, as each country was walking through and their names, the names of the countries being read out, and we saw you, our hearts were filled with joy, absolute joy as you were walking on that Paris stage before the game started. And as you donned your clothes and got onto the fields, you just don't know how you filled our hearts with joy and pride. Today, we are not just celebrating your medals and the athletes who won those medals. We are celebrating the spirit of South Africa. We are celebrating the power of sport to unite us. This is when we remember what the father of our democracy said, Nelson Mandela, when he said sports is a powerful, powerful instrument to can build and unite a nation. And he's proven that to be correct over and over again. It is also able to inspire us and to remind us of the strength that we possess when we stand together as a nation. If you ever wanted to see South Africa united at any key moment, and if you were to take a snapshot of that key moment, always at a time when our sporting men and women are on the international stage. We are all, as Minister Mackenzie said, on tenterhooks. We sit at the edge of our seats, whether it's in the stadium or whether it is at home. And all of us heave with fear, excitement, and anxiety because it is the nation that is on stage. And it is through you that you put us on the international stage. Some of us go to the United Nations, we make speeches, that's fine. But it is you who are on that edge, who sacrifice everything, your various human capabilities are on the line, and you wear the South African flag, Nogal. So we are celebrating the extraordinary resilience of all of you and your unwavering commitment and your incredible talent. Because you don't go to the Olympics. And I'm glad that our country has bodies, these disciplined bodies that vet you, that help you, that nurture you, that support you. And in the end, we know that when you finally go to the Olympics, it means that we are setting the best of the best. And therefore, we celebrate today the profound symbolism also of perfection that sports holds in our country. In a country that has endured years of division and hardship, sport has been established as an essential element to forge a shared identity, an identity and as well as a common nationhood. As one sees the crowds that are in various international events, encouraging, egging on South Africans, sportsmen and women, you just see South Africa in its diversity and its beauty. And that's what we see and we project to the international world. Today, we reflect on South Africa's Olympic and Paralympic journey. That journey began with a struggle, with discrimination, exclusion, and isolation. Through the efforts of many great patriots, we've got Sam Ramsamy here and many others, that journey has become one of excellence, pride, achievement, and social cohesion, and pain. South Africa's participation in the Games has been about more than just sport. It's been about the quest for equality, it's been about the fight for justice, and the desire to represent the best of what our nation can showcase to the world. And we recall the years of discrimination and segregation in South African sport in the past. It was a time when so many of our athletes were denied opportunity to compete as equals. It was a time when those who were capable were humiliated, were excluded, either in South Africa, also on the world stage. It was a time when the people of South Africa were denied the opportunity to witness their country's full potential in sports. As the country embarked on its inevitable transition to democracy, unavoidable journey to this democracy that we have today, and as the world gathered in Barcelona for the 1992 Olympics, South Africa was ready to take its place amongst the world's sporting nations once again, after so many years of exclusion. For many years, this was not just about winning medals. It was about reclaiming our place in the world as a nation, and as a nation in formation. The return of South Africa to Olympic Games was an important symbol of our country's quest for freedom and its commitment for non-racialism and democracy. Now, in every Olympic Games since, our athletes have shown the world that South Africa is capable of producing world-class, excellent talent and very capable athletes across a variety of sports. And in every Paralympic Games, our athletes have not only demonstrated their athletic ability, but have also challenged the perceptions about disability. That disability should never be seen as a barrier, and we want to applaud our Paralympics. Now, these athletes have proven that physical limitations are no match for the strength of the human spirit, and that is what we applaud. The success of our Paralympic athletes remind us of the fact that greatness knows no boundaries. Greatness does not have a glass ceiling. Greatness is just greatness, pure and simple. Now, as we honor our Olympic and Paralympic champions, we must recognize the ongoing work that needs to be done to support athletes with disabilities. The 2024 Paris Olympic and Paralympics Games saw remarkable performance from South Africa's team. We honor the medalists, Team South Africa, and indeed everyone who has played a role to make our country so proud. And quite often, we don't honor those who are in the back room, those who prepare our athletes, because we often see just the athletes, and yet we should also remember that behind every athlete, there are a string of people who are aiding, assisting, and encouraging that athlete to do the very best. So let's give those people a round of applause and thank them. Now, with our team having won these medals, we are very proud. Today, we are honoring the medalists with recognition awards. We are also honoring the athletes that achieved the most outstanding performance at the Olympic and Paralympic Games with the presentation of the Shield of Jove. This prestigious award was donated to the South African government in 1948 by Frederick Mitchell Hedges, a British archaeologist involved in mining in South Africa. It is a symbol of excellence, perseverance, dedication, and commitment to the pursuit of sporting greatness. This year, we are proud to award the Shield of Jove to Tatjana Smith and to Mpumelelo Mhlongo. Tatjana and Mpumelelo, in recognition of their exceptional achievements at the 2024 Paris Olympic and Paralympic Games. They certainly have made us proud just as all others have, but they performed at a level that deserves our recognition, and we thank them for that. Now, these remarkable achievements, as I said, are the product of a collective commitment to building a sustainable sporting culture in South Africa. Our athletes have excelled because of the investments we've made in sport infrastructure, in grassroots development, and in training systems. However, we must do more. We all know that much more needs to be done. Premier Lesufi has referred to it, and Minister Mackenzie has also spoken about it. And we've now entered the era where, because of the excellent performance that you are demonstrating at world competitions, be they the Olympics, the Commonwealth Games, and many, many others, you are now leading our country, and I would say you are dragging us, at times screaming and shouting, but you are dragging us to develop a much broader and richer culture of making South Africa a sporting nation. And this is something that we inculcate. You know, when Minister Mackenzie got into his position, this guy was not a walker. He knew very little about walking. And he knew that he now has a boss who walks. But he was no longer seeing me walking, and he decided that, you know what, I am now going to start walking. But in his case, to shed a few kilograms. And he's now doing that. By so doing, he's encouraging more and more South Africans, like I've sought to do over many years to take up just being active. And our athletes inspire us. When I look at our athletes, when I look at how fit they are, when I look at how they excel, the endurance that they go through, I just believe that we can indeed be encouraged, all of us, to become more sporty, but more importantly, you are also encouraging us to ensure that as a government, we do establish that sporting infrastructure all over, starting with our schools, because good sports starts from schools. And we've committed as a clear vision. You may well say Mackenzie, that I was visionary and foresightful in appointing you and Mabe. That is true to some extent. The real vision is about getting sports in schools. That is the real vision. This we must do to ensure that the next generation of South African athletes has even greater opportunities to succeed. Would like to start at the lowest level. We must continue to invest in youth development, ensuring that children in every part of our country, whether urban or rural, have access to sports programs. This means strengthening our partnerships with local schools, community centers and clubs, but also getting the private sector, as I see on the board there, that it is the private sector that is excelling in supporting. But I want to see more companies, more of them supporting schools, because this needs to be an area where we collaborate, because it is through sports that we make an everlasting investment. It is an investment to make sure that this flag is seen all over the world. And this flag encourages people to come as tourists, to come as investors, and to come and compete with our sportsmen and women. So what you are doing as our athletes, you are involved in initiating, igniting a very silent revolution of bringing about change in the way that we approach sports as a country. And we will make sure that our youth are equipped with skills, coaching, as well as facilities that they need to reach their full potential. We must never forget that every medal won, every record broken, is a testament to the countless hours of training, sacrifice, and dedication that our athletes put into their craft. If you were to talk to any one of them, be it Simbini, be it Tatjana, be it Mhlongo, anyone, they will tell us that they have had to invest hours after hours just preparing themselves, and that has come as a result of sacrifice. Much as what they enjoy what they do, but it has also come about in the way of sacrifice. Today is a celebration not just of the medals that our athletes have won, but of, yes, the resilient spirit of our people. We're a nation that was forged in struggle, a nation that went through a lot of adversity, but also a nation that has lived with hope deeply buried in our hearts. To the Olympic and Paralympic champions with us here today, we want to say thank you. Today is about celebrating you and thanking you as a nation. To the teams of people such as coaches, trainers, therapists, doctors, families and friends, and many others, including those who just hold bottles, water bottles along the pathway through which our athletes will traverse, we say thank you, because you have carried our stars onto the podium, and we say thank you to you as well. And if you know that you are any of these people here today, please give yourself a round of applause. And of course, we recognize with gratitude our corporate sponsors, and all of them well represented on that board, as well as our National Lotteries Commission, who provided significant funding to SASCOC, enabling our athletes to participate and to excel. We have come a long way since our country's return to the Olympics participation in 1992, and we know that we are capable and we can do much more than what we have done. We are indeed a nation that is united, that stands ready for the challenges that lie ahead in the future. So together, I do believe that we can continue to build a legacy of sporting excellence. And I have seen how other countries, when one athlete wins either a silver medal and a gold medal, I mean, the whole country has like 1 or 2 national holidays. Now, we are used to this. Minister, I'll discuss a target with you. And when we've reached that target, then we will have an absolutely national celebration. But for now, we have a legacy that will inspire many. As each one of you as athletes win your medals, you are winning it for South Africa. And I'm glad to know that even as you held it up on the podium, you knew you were holding it up for South Africa. That in itself has gone a long way to inspire millions of South Africans, especially young people who now want to follow in your footsteps. So we thank you, and for me, I love you so much. Thank you so much.